Real quick video too. I'm not gonna edit the videos together, so I'm just gonna post this one right after the first one that I just posted. But I forgot to answer one viewer's question about what I think the essential tools for stealth camping, stuff to have in your van would be. And I'm thinking a roll under car jack that you can easily just roll under and jack up your car and change your tire, because lots of times you'll need to change a tire. Good to have a spare if you can afford to put it somewhere. This car currently does not have a spare. It has these gel stuff that's in the tires, and then it has like a emergency pack thingy from the factory that has like a repair kit or something, and then you're supposed to be able to call OnStar for assistance to tow the car wherever you want to go, because it's OnStar equipped. The other thing that is handy that I forgot to mention is the fact that this thing has OnStar. OnStar can start your car for you remotely if you had problems with it or something. It can unlock your car, like if you leave your keys in your car. This car itself has, if you leave the key in ignition, the driver's side door won't lock. Has that, so you have to keep an eye on that. But if you left your keys in your car somewhere besides the ignition, you can call OnStar and give them your security tip and your name and stuff like that and verify information with them, and then they will unlock your car for you anywhere you're at in the world, which is really handy to have as a van driller, especially if you're using the car as your home, etc. And with OnStar, if somebody were to break in and steal my van or my car when I'm not in it and take off with essentially would be my house, I can call OnStar up, have them track it, have them shut it down, and have the nearest police department come get them. All in one thing, like a bait car pretty much. I mean, they lock the doors and everything. And they, coordinate it with the police departments, let the police departments right there before they shut the car down, etc. And then you're pretty much screwed at that point. For safety, if you try to max out the speed on this car, though, just screwing around, I've tried it, then they call in an emergency beacon thingy to you, and you have to go talk to the local law enforcement or emergency services department somewhere or another. I had to talk to a sheriff's deputy that came out in Baker to meet me after I accelerated the car past, I forget what it was, 120, 119, I think it goes to 140 if I remember right. But I got up to like 119 and the safety thing went off, so that's a bad, I guess good and a bad thing that they realize that on OnStar and track you that way. But it's nice to know that you're always being tracked, I guess, if anything ever happened to you, etc. It's a nice option to have if you buy an OnStar equipped vehicle to live in. The other thing is, of course, along with the jack, is have an electric wrench that you have charged, or hopefully charged, and they also have a tire iron as a backup, four-way tire iron to take a tire off with. It helps to have that run flat stuff, and like I say, Rain X on the windshield to help keep condensation down. Having a pack of zip ties, duct tape, Velcro. Velcro comes in handy a lot when you're having to stick stuff up. Those suction cup thingies for the windows, sometimes they come in handy a lot. Magnets come in handy. And baby wipes, of course, to keep yourself clean when you can't shower, comes in handy when you're in the car. Also, preferably you should have like a portable jump starter. That comes in handy as both a secondary thing that can jump, or that can start jump start your car if needed, or somebody else's car on the road, so that you don't have to use your car to jump theirs. Or you can have a set of cables if you go that route, but I prefer to have, for 40 bucks is all they cost. You can buy one of those things and have that with you and have it charged and ready to go. You can buy one that has a DC charger too, so you can charge it while you're driving. They have them available, I believe, at Walmart has them. I know Walmart's got the kind that's AC charger. I don't know about DC for sure. And anyway, just your basic stuff like mechanics gloves comes in handy if you have to fix something on the road. Of course, any of your fluids, like your transmission oil or your regular oil or your windshield washer fluid or your coolant or whatever, it helps to have all that on board, just so you're prepared ahead of time, because things do break down over time. You gotta realize whatever vehicle you're driving, whether it's new or older or whatever, will eventually wear and tear and break down over time, and the last thing you want to do is get out in the middle of, let's say, a desert with no services for 100 miles in either direction, and then have something happen to you and you not be prepared. I've done it before. I'm not going to say I haven't, but I probably shouldn't. And that was just to answer a viewer's question. That's what they should probably have. And then I'd also have, to be on the safe side, most people say you should have at least like $2,500 saved up in a bank to be able to buy anything on the spot for, if your transmission goes out, etc. Or more than that, or whatever you can stand to be able to save something. I say that because I have a hard time saving. I need to start doing that, so when I get into expediting, I can save for my own van, but that's an entirely different video altogether. But anyway, that's the main things I can think of, is those kind of tools. helps to have like a regular toolbox of tools, you know, and the oil filter changing wrench and oil filter and stuff like that to do your own oil changes and stuff if you travel enough to make it worth your while to do that. Oh, I would also say, well, not in this car really, but if you're at a cargo van or whatever, I would lock the partition. Have a way to lock your partition so that people can't get back there and they don't even see all this stuff. And then if you're a car like this, I would have a way to secure this outside the car or secure it all in the back, so that way if you have to go get this service someplace, people don't ask questions, just to keep them from asking questions. So people don't need to know that you live in your car for security reasons alone. You know, you don't want to be in the same town as your tech that knows you live in your car and you leave all your valuables in your car, etc. So service tech, I mean, so that kind of thing. And then you just kind of have to trust your guts as to where you park at night and whatever, if it's a nicer neighborhood or not. And the other response I got the other day was, where can you find the best Wi-Fi, which I've gone over before. Most likely most hospitals in the country have the best Wi-Fi network backed up with a server and everything. Secondary to that is a library, like where I'm at right now. While my video uploads, the first video uploads, has a decent Wi-Fi signal. Sometimes coffee shops will have their own backed up network of Wi-Fi signal, in which case that'll be faster than normal, but Google Starbucks isn't too bad if you use the Google version of Starbucks. And then it kind of just goes down from there. You can pick and choose. Some hotels have pretty fast Wi-Fi to keep their guests content. And then for places to park at night, like I say, I use side streets and try to find a street that has something like that last video had a railroad track on one side and the street on the other, so traffic has to stop within the block. Or like it has a stop sign each block, so that traffic cannot get going very fast before they get to the next block and they have to stop again. That keeps traffic from going under 20 mile an hour or so. I've noticed if they go over 20 mile an hour, they'll shake your whole van as they pass by. The wind and suction from their car will shake your whole van, especially if it's like a bigger truck, etc. And try to find low traffic area streets to park on, away from residential neighborhoods, I say. But mainly, for me, I do it because I don't like the dogs barking and kids playing. You know, they could be playing outside your car and accidentally break something on your car, etc. And dogs barking all night long keep you up. And the fact that you should probably, if you do have to stealth camp in a residential neighborhood, I highly suggest what other people say, arrive late and leave early, so that people never even see you there. Me, however, I like to sleep in a lot till like noon, so I try to find spots where nobody's going to bug me till noon or so. But like I said before, it's kind of 50-50 no matter where you go anyway. You just gotta kind of get a feel for where the best parts are. And like everybody's always said on some other videos and stuff like that, use your spidey sense, so to speak. If it doesn't, the spot does not feel safe, don't park there. Simple as that. Just keep on moving. If something doesn't, you know, even if it was safe all night long, you're best off moving away to something that you feel better at, because odds are something could have happened that night to you in that spot. You know, what can happen anywhere, but I'm just saying. The two weird situations that I've had, the one was the crackhead that I talked about before, that was in behind my camper van, and then he got the attention of the cops, and the cops tased him a couple times, and they had to shoot him and missed, they would have shot right through the back door of the camper van, or the back section of the camper van, right into my bed. That was one of the strangest situations I've had to put up with. And then I've had a couple situations where people have tried to check your car doors at Walmart's or at downtown or up Main Street from Miles City. In Miles City, Montana, where they had tweakers trying to check to see if they can break in and steal stuff so they can go pawn it or sell it to other people so they can get their drugs, so to speak. So you have to be prepared for that too, and just always keep your doors locked. I would also say always have a flashlight on you, a regular flashlight, not just a cell phone, a regular flashlight that you know is powered. You can also use a secondary flashlight or phone like what I got back there charged. And even if it don't have service, it can still dial 911 for you. Every phone in the country has to be able to still dial the 911 emergency service, even if it doesn't actually have paid service on it. So it's nice to know that, so you can use your burner phones or whatever, your secondary phone, and have it always plugged in. That way you have it always ready to go. If something happens, that way you're not having to deal with something with a rundown battery because you're using your phone all day long and something happens or whatever. Not that should depend on the police to save you or anything, I'm just saying. In general, it's a good idea to have it. And then you can have a baseball bat and say that you are on some kind of softball team or whatever. And beat the hell out of a guy if the guy broke into your van or something, I don't know. Tire iron is a really good one to have in a car because it's just a tire iron that you had handy and it belongs in a car. So in terms of weapons for defend yourself, some people do bear spray and pepper spray and paint gun and air guns and regular guns, of course, and etc. And you can get into all that if you want to. I would say if you do go with an actual armed gun, because we have a Second Amendment right to arm ourselves, I would at least carry a concealed weapons permit in a state that recognizes, I think some 2 or 3 of them recognize 15 or 16 other states out there. Pro carry or whatever, or something where they recognize each other as permits. So at least you have half the U.S. country that you can travel with and the gun in hand, or not in hand, but on your possession or whatever in the car. And not have to worry about the legalities of it too much. But obviously the whole point is never to have to use it and be in that situation anyway, but it is nice to know that you have it on board. I would just keep it close to you, but most likely, I don't know, I'm about 50-50 on keeping it without the bullets in it, unarmed or not. Some people say it's safer that way, so your dogs and your kids and everything don't get to it and shoot you by accident, or you don't shoot your husband or wife or whoever by accident. And then some people say having a gun that's unloaded is kind of stupid. It's kind of pointless, and it is technically kind of pointless, because if you're going to point a gun at somebody and it's not loaded, without the intent to shoot, and if they happen to have a gun that is loaded, you're on the receiving end of ugh. So, this video is getting pretty long again, and I don't want to be here all night long, so I just wanted to show a video 2 of the responses on my emails. I just caught that last part that I hadn't catched on very much in the first video, so hopefully I answered everybody's questions. Like and subscribe, leave comments, and we'll catch you in a flip. Peace.